Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Stories and Yanko back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Shakur Stevenson, number 3 ranked pound for pound fighter in the world. Should be number 2, but 4-division world champion, 2 times lineal unified champion, Shakur Stevenson, aka Baby Money, right? And that's coming from Floyd Mayweather. And what Shakur Stevenson represents is the purest form of American boxing. Many casuals don't understand this, but the American style is hit and don't get hit. Make a miss, make them pay. Shakur Stevenson represents the purest aspect of the American style, okay? Make a miss, make them pay. Once again, many casuals don't understand that. But Shakur Stevenson is one of these fighters, such as a Floyd Mayweather, that won't get his credit until he retires, because he is exactly who they wish their favorite fighter was. And I'm not saying that from the perspective of a fan, because yes, he is my second favorite fighter behind Jerron Boot Sanders, but I'm saying it because it's true, okay? Everything he does gets praised on the night that he does it, but then few days pass, then it gets discredited because you have a lot of people that want him to lose. You have a lot of people that go out their way to discredit his former opponents, even if they were ranked pound for pound, even if they were the top guy of their division. Teofimo Lopez had the ring belt as well as the WBO belt. But yet, guess what? Once Shakur made him look like nothing, now all of a sudden he's nothing, and now all of a sudden Rolly Romero has a chance of beating him. You have many guys who don't want to see Shakur become what he already is, and it's because they're fans of other fighters. It has really nothing to do with Shakur's skill set, with his skills. People call Shakur boring. Shakur is not boring at all, right? Shakur, let's say, for example, right? Just a fun fact. Shakur, his worst fight, people deem as him versus Edwin De Los Santos, right? People call Devin Haney boring, but many Devin Haney fans don't acknowledge that. They don't say that, right? Many of them reference the De Los Santos fight. Did you know that he landed more punches on De Los Santos than Devin Haney did versus Jose Ramirez and Brian Norman Jr. combined? Yeah, just a little fun fact, okay? That's because it's not about boxing. It's about we support this guy versus that guy. And I try not to get into the little mix when it comes to, oh, man, I'm going to defend Shakur. Shakur puts his fans, his supporters, in a position to never have to really defend him. He doesn't even have to really defend himself because he's ranked number 3 for a reason. While these other guys, such as the Tank Davis fans, Tank Davis, Devin Haney fans, Devin Haney, while they do everything in their power to try to manufacture legacy or try to trick fans into believing that they are greater than they actually are, I don't think Tank does that, but I think Devin Haney does that. Devin Haney is trying so hard. The reason why he has been out of the ring for so long is because he's trying to manufacture his career. There's no cherry picks available, right? And if there is a cherry pick available, it's not going to be for the price that he wants. He's trying to make money while minimizing risk. That's what it's all about for him. Let's minimize risk while getting a big payday. And I can't fault him. It is what it is. Professional prize fighting, right? But his name gets thrown in there with guys who are actually taking the risk, such as Shakur Stevenson, while simultaneously bigging up their legacy while getting the bag. Shakur is able to add that third element in there. He's able to get the bag, cement his legacy, right? While fighting competition, all of that, right? Devin Haney is trying to fight lesser competition. Tank Davis is trying to fight lesser competition. The only reason I'm mentioning those two guys because he already beat Teofimo Lopez. People know he's going to beat Ryan Garcia, okay? Like, those are the only two guys that are attached to his name. Bill Haney, even in that Off the Record, you know, we all saw the little video where Bill Haney was talking about how, man, if you even got any good work in on Shakur, it was a good day. People skim over that, right? But I don't want you guys to get social media confused with reality. In reality, people will come up and support Shakur. People will come up and watch his fights. People will do that, okay? People do that for Tank Davis, but they don't do it for Devin Haney. It is what it is. Shakur is not as boring as people may talk about him to be. He's not boring, okay? He makes his fights are so easy. Like, he makes the fight so easy for him. It's just easy. It's not because the opponent may not be a good opponent. It's just that he is so at a high level to where it makes the fight like, damn, this not even gonna be competitive, is it? Right? That's what he does, because he's a great boxer. He is an elite level S tier boxer. He is the best of his generation. He is the best lightweight of his generation. Plain and simple. So, it is what it is. But the reason why Devin Haney, Tank Davis fans, all of them, the reason why a lot of them hate Shakur Stevenson is because he is exactly who they wish their favorite fighter was. It's a lot of hate by proxy of like, damn, deep down, they wish that their fighter was as good as that. And a lot of fanboys are not going to agree with this because it's the truth. The truth hurts. Many Tank fanboys, all they can do is sit back. Them niggas got to talk about fashion. Them niggas got to talk, man, look how influential Tank is. They can't talk about what's going on in the ring. They can't claim he's a unified champion. They can't claim that he's a 2-division, even though, listen, that wasn't a real belt. It is what it is. They can't claim 4-division world champion, 3-division world champion. They can't claim 2 times lineal. They can't claim lineal. Same thing with Devin Haney. Oh, he's the youngest undisputed. Why doesn't he have another lineal belt? It's because he's not trying to fight the top guy in the division, right? He's not ranked the number one, and he's not trying to fight the number one. Okay? Right? Cool. Fine. Whatever. He's dropped his belts multiple times when it comes to fighting dangerous mandatories. Shakur had to chase down his mandatory, which is William Zepeda. And now Zepeda is getting his respect after beating Lamont Roach. All this stuff is finally coming together to where people are now hoping that Tio loses to Rolly Romero so they can shit on Shakur. Because if he wins, yes, you're going to see a lot of fans come out in support of Shakur Stevenson. That's because the fighters on his resume had to pretty much defend his legacy in a way. Because he has beat these guys at their best, in their prime. And he doesn't get the credit for it. They don't give him credit for the Yoshino fight. They don't give him credit for the Valdez fight. They don't give him credit for the Herring fight. You know, he beat Lamont Roach. They don't give him credit for the Del Santos fight, even though, once again, he knocked out Rayo. And then he beat him with one hand because his left hand was broken. It is what it is. They don't give him credit. They didn't give him credit for the Zepeda fight, even though, once again, he beat Lamont Roach. They gave him credit for a whole night. Like, damn, is Shakur really like that? Yes. Yes, he is. Then they wanted to take it away and say, oh, you know, this is a different version of William Zepeda. Keep in mind, these niggas don't watch William Zepeda. I watched the second fight with Tim Farber. I didn't watch the first one, but I watched the second one. I watched a lot of fucking boxing, man. A lot. Just like a side note, I watched the Chris Billensmith versus Zerto Ramirez, which is why I was so frustrated with Zerto Ramirez when he fought David Benavidez. I'm like, where was all this shit? Like, nigga, you not even moving in the same way that you was in the Chris Billensmith. My bad. Chris Billens fight. You wasn't even moving the same way. I'm like, that's the reason why I was frustrated at Zerto Ramirez. I'm like, where was this? You not even the same guy, my nigga. Cool. And I believe that was a unification fight, right? But regardless, right? Shakur Stevenson is not going to get his credit because he's that great. He's like Boots, to some extent Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford, he made his own decisions. It is what it is. But Shakur Stevenson is truly a boogeyman of the sport. He is truly a boogeyman of the sport. You have many guys that'll bring up Oshaki Foster. You got injuries. And me, I know what it's like to have injuries, shoulder injuries. I've had this shoulder injury since last year, July. And it's affected my boxing, my calisthenics. So if you're a person who has injuries, you don't want to just step in with whoever, right? Even if you know you can beat them, you got to make the most of your body. And then many casuals don't understand that. When you see the Art Mans, all these guys, everybody outside of Art Man got me blocked because I tell the truth. Even Devin Haney himself blocked me. I never once added this nigga or nothing because I speak truth, okay? I never called him a bitch, never called him anything. And I should blur that out. But you know what? I don't care. Let's keep it authentic, right? I never called him out of his name or nothing, but he blocked me because I told the truth. A guy like Shakur Stevenson, dude, he's the perfect boxer. He's the perfect boxer, okay? Whether if he's entertaining or not to you is cool, whatever. But from the eyes of a boxing purist, a guy that competes in the sport as myself, I love watching Shakur. And even guys who box themselves may find Shakur boring, right? Because they may have a loyalty towards or a bias towards someone like a Devin Haney. You can't say Shakur is boring and say Devin Haney is not boring, right? They don't fight anything alike. Shakur's quote unquote fights are boring because he makes his opponents look like nothing. Devin Haney's fights are boring is because he makes them boring. He deliberately clinches, all right? He has low output. I'm saying there's multiple reasons, but Shakur's fights can be boring because you know that, okay, yeah, he could step on the gas a bit more. He could do this. But at the end of the day, Shakur is number 3 on the pound for pound. Once again, should be number 2 because Usyk is not competing at a level that is pound for pound material. His last fight, dude, he should not be on the pound for pound. And I'm not hating on Usyk. What I'm saying is that he dropped all his belts. He's not a champion. He's trying to make a fight with Deontay Wilder. His last fight was not the level of a pound for pound fighter. He should not be number 2. But I understand giving him respect because of what he did against Daniel Dubois twice, Anthony Joshua, who else? Tyson Fury, what he did against many other guys, okay? It is what it is, and that's cool. I respect that. But right now, in 2026, Alexander Usyk is not a top 3 pound for pound fighter in the world. Shakur Stevenson should be number 2. And I hope that Shakur makes a fight with Raymond Moratia because that would be a great fight. You want to know a good fight that I think in my mind, technically, would be Shakur Stevenson versus Alberto Puello. I think that would be a great fight because Alberto Puello is awkward, but technical. He's a technical, awkward fighter, if that makes sense, okay? Very good with straight punches. Very good on the back foot. Elite on the back foot. I would love to see a fight between him and Shakur Stevenson. And that's for the purists. That's not for the casuals, right? But a guy like Shakur Stevenson is not going to get his credit until he retires because, honestly, he's just too damn good. He's too good to where people second guess his opponents. People second guess his opponents like, how could he make this guy look so easy? You know? People are really, it's envy. It's like, why is he so fucking good? Why is his reflexes, his defense, his offense? Shakur is second in combination punching and boxing, and people say that he doesn't let his hands go. It's just factually incorrect, right? But it is what it is. He is such a technically sound boxer. He is the purest boxer in the sport of boxing, my nigga. Okay? I'm not saying it just to say it. The numbers back it up. The fights back it up. Shakur is the purest boxer in the fucking world, my nigga. Like, it is what it is. And it's like, it's cool, but many guys don't support it. Don't get confused with a lot of the videos on YouTube. Shakur doesn't have this massive fan base where it comes from, like YouTube and Twitter. A lot of those accounts are dominated by Devin Haney fans, Tank Davis fans, Butt fans, Deontay Wilder fans at a certain point. It's easy, you know? It's about who is easier to digest. A lot of these guys became fans based off of different aspects. The Bill Haney, Devin Haney connection. You know, a lot of these niggas got, you know, problems with their baby moms. They're not able to see their sons, daughters, whatever. So when they see a guy like Bill Haney bigging up his son, they form a connection, you know? They form a connection between that. It's not about boxing. It's deeper than boxing for them. That's why they can't support a guy like Keyshawn. They can't support a guy like Shakur. It's not about boxing for them. So I need y'all to understand that when you see a guy like Shakur Stevenson, who is putting belt to ass, okay? Who is that good, right? In the ring, okay? And then you see him go on podcast. Shakur is just a troll. He's like me. You want to enjoy the hate that you get because deep down they can't stop it. No matter what narrative they push online, they can't stop you from getting the money that you get, because whether if it's Zuffa, Turkey Al Sheik, Matchroom, whoever, okay? It doesn't matter. They see the talent. It does not matter. Online narratives and stuff don't work in negotiations. That's the reason why these niggas' favorite fighters is inactive, because no matter how much you have guys supporting you on the outside, narratives and all this stuff, it don't put asses in seats. It doesn't buy tickets. It doesn't fill out stadiums, arenas. It doesn't fill out anything. It doesn't work in negotiations. It doesn't get you legacy. All it does, it gives you a temporary social media buzz and a conversation. Sure, fighters can feed into it, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to the money, when it comes down to the legacy, people gonna look at, damn, this guy is ranked number 3 for a reason. Should be number 2, right? Because he's challenging himself. He doesn't sit out the ring for a whole year going through negotiation with 10 niggas. He's not out the ring putting his hands on women back to back to back to back to back on video. 4K. Okay? He's not doing that. He's sitting in the gym. He's putting the work in. And he's waiting on who is going to have the balls to look like nothing in front of me. That's just the facts. That's the reason why he gives Teofimo Lopez so much credit. You are willing to put your career on the line to look like nothing. Guys know what they're in for when they fight this guy. You are in to look like nothing. It doesn't matter what you do in your career. You are going to look like a bum, a scrub. You're going to look like you don't even belong in a ring when you step into the ring with Shakur Stevenson. The only reason why Zepeda even got a little bit of credit is because he was throwing 1,000 punches. That's it. That's the reason why he got that credit. Respect to William Zepeda. He threw so many punches. It's not because they hurt. He was just throwing so many punches to the point that it's like Shakur had to fight in a different style. And guess what? He chose to fight in that style. Just to show y'all niggas that he's like that. Man, I hope Shakur watched this video because, bro, you don't got to feed into the narratives, my nigga. You don't have to. You don't have to. The rest of these niggas are going to be slowly falling off the pound for pound. Or if they're not even on there anyway. But these niggas are going to be falling out the pound for pound trying to push narratives while not challenging themselves, right? We're not doing the same things that they say that they're going to do. Niggas are talking about becoming undisputed, but yet they can't get a fucking unification. Okay? It doesn't matter whether if you're with Zuffa, Queensberry, Matchroom, PBC, Top Rank. It doesn't matter. All these niggas can make a fight. Ryan Garcia versus Conor Ben proved that. It proved that. You can make fights. A lot of these niggas, David Benavidez, nigga, is using all these crossing the bridge type shit to make excuses. You can make a fight with Shakur Stevenson. Do you want it though? Do you want it though? Do you really want that fight? It's going to be a big payday, but guess what? It's going to be an ass whooping as well. You're going to get schooled as well. And it is what it is. It's cool. It's cool, bruh. Everybody's trying to protect their own. And the issue that I have with a lot of people that talk about Shakur is that they make it seem like he's trying to protect his own. When in reality, the niggas that y'all are bigging up across for him are trying to protect their own. Because they can't seem to make a damn fight. They can't seem to make a fight for nothing. They can be in negotiations with a billion niggas and can't make a fight. I'm talking about Devin Haney, nigga. You could talk about Keyshawn duck, Shakur duck, all this stuff, even though Shakur didn't duck or whatever. Keyshawn, quote unquote, duck because of the money. It is what it is, all right? But yeah, what about the 8 other niggas? Rolly Romero. What about that? What about Jack Catterall? What about Liam Paul? What about Rolly Romero? What about all these other niggas? You seem to be the common denominator, right? But nobody gets on this nigga the same way because deep down, a lot of niggas know he's not that good, okay? Niggas expect Shakur to fight 135, 140, 147 because he's that fucking great, my nigga. That's why. That's why. And I'm not saying it as no fanboy. I'm saying it because it's the truth. Niggas expect so much for Shakur because he's that fucking great. Whether if the haters want to admit it, whether if the fanboys want to admit it. It's like you expect this nigga to go above and beyond because he's that fucking good. You don't expect your fighter to do that because he's not as good as Shakur Stevenson. You don't expect that. We could talk about the Conor Ben. You want to know why? He said, how come the 147 for Conor Ben? Because Conor Ben isn't seen as that good. Right? They see Conor Ben on the same level as someone like me. They see Conor Ben on someone like amateur level. You started boxing when you were 15. I've been boxing since I was 33, nigga. They don't see Conor Ben as that good. That's the reason why they want to lower the bar from him. So once again, when you guys are coming back and say, he said he'll do this for Conor Ben, is Devin Haney on the same level as Conor Ben? Y'all, are you willing to say no to that? Okay, then stop expecting the same thing. You move the goalpost for how much you respect. Him saying that, okay, let's do a catch weight. That's because he respects Devin Haney enough as a boxer. But you dumb niggas don't understand that. You stupid niggas don't understand that. He respects Devin Haney so much as a peer that he's willing to go to a catch weight. Because he knows that he can still make 135 comfortably and a 140. But you niggas are saying, but he says Conor Ben because are you niggas willing to say that Conor Ben and Devin Haney are just as good as each other? No. Okay, then stop mentioning them together. Okay? The rules apply differently for how much you respect your opponent. If I think that my opponent is such a bum, to where I will fight him at any weight that he deems, that says a lot about my opponent. It's a big payday. But if I say, hey, look, man, we got to meet in the middle. That means I respect you more than the last opponent. It's not hard to understand. It's not really hard to understand. Shakur doesn't really contradict himself. You niggas just don't understand the context behind what he is saying. He's saying Conor Ben is ass. That's what he's saying. He's saying Devin Haney is respectable and good enough for me to respect him as a real boxer, a world-class boxer, for me to say, you know what, I'll step into the ring with you at a catch weight, though. We meet in the middle. 144, respectable. I'm at 140, you're at 147. I'm not draining you, you're not bringing me up too much. It is what it is. You can rehydrate to whatever you want to. But we meet in the middle. You dumb niggas don't understand that. It's right in front of your face. That's what he's been saying. Conor Ben is trash, but Devin Haney is respectable enough to where I want to meet him in the middle. Stop comparing the two. Stop. If you're not wanting to admit Conor Ben and Devin Haney are just as good as each other, which you are not willing to admit, stop putting them in the same sentence, because once again, you know what he's implying when it comes to that. Any fighter from 135, even 130, maybe 130, 135 to 147 will meet Conor Ben at whatever way he wants, because he's easy work, nigga. That's why, nigga. It's an easy payday. He has the UK fan base, Netflix, all that shit. Zuffa, big payday. To fight a guy who started boxing when he was 15. You guys don't even understand the difference between a guy that started boxing at 3 years old to a guy that was boxing at 15. You started late. You didn't even learn all the stuff that guy learned in the 12 years before. Your punch resistance, your technique, your skills, your reflexes, all that stuff. That's a lot of time to make up for. Conor Ben has done a lot within the time that he has been in the sport of boxing, but it does not make up for what Shakur has been able to do. That's why Shakur is so elite. He's been boxing since he was 3, my nigga. 3. And it's not just, oh, if you started that age, you're going to be elite. He had the gifts, the God-given gifts to be elite at this point. The height, the reflexes, the ability to be able to still make 135, 140. Shakur Stevenson is who y'all think he's not. It doesn't matter whether you discredit his opponents, whether if you try to downplay his career. He's ranked number 3 on the pound for pound for a motherfucking reason. He's a 4-division unified 2 times lineal champion for a reason, my nigga. You guys are not going to give him the credit until he retires. And once again, when Teofimo Lopez beats Rolly Romero, you're going to have a lot of guys coming out. Damn. And Shakur, especially once he schools on, damn, is Shakur really like that? Yes, nigga. Yes. We've been telling y'all. It's not hard to see. Y'all know this. But y'all don't want to give the man the credit. So, it is what it is. Ain't nothing left to say. Shakur, brother, I wish you the best. I wish all good fighters the best. Fuck all these narratives. Fuck all this matchmaking. Shakur not trying to matchmake. Shakur just wants guys to get in the fucking ring. You see how much he did to get Teofimo Lopez in the ring. He appreciates Teo for getting in the ring, okay? If you're able to get into the ring with Shakur, he respects you. Plain and simple. He ain't going to downplay your night. He's going to respect you. But he's going to school you. It is what it is. Peace.